Hello, everyone. Andrew Taylor here. We have an exciting lineup for you today. We have Nicole Ripoll Martinez. You've been killing it. We're going to learn about that. Austin Jones and Josh Williams. You guys got a good squad. Nicole, to start, we want to learn about your background and how you ended up selling with FFL.
So I actually ended up starting in the health insurance industry back in 2019. I was 22 years old, studying for my LSAT. Initially, I wanted to go to law school. So while studying for the LSAT, I started seeing all these insurance people making way more money than what attorneys would make, even in their first 5 years in the field. So I ended up making the transition, did fully sales. I wasn't happy with the company that I was at when I was back in health insurance, so I ended up going to solar, which I went from telesales to door-to-door. Crazy transition.
Is solar hard?
In Florida, it definitely was. So I know states like California, Texas, even Nevada, is not as challenging as it is in Florida, but because electric bills are not as crazy over there, it was definitely a very tough market to be in.
Nevada sounds like it'd be easy.
Well, it's very hot, so.
It's very hot.
Yeah, but once I decided to, leave solar and made the full transition was actually when I was talking to AJ. We worked for the same health insurance company. He was telling me about the opportunity. I met with Sean, told me everything, and I was just so burnt out from the industry that I wanted nothing to do with insurance. I was like, insurance, I don't want to have the conversation. Like, I just don't want to do it. Then eventually started seeing the opportunity for what it was. I ended up meeting with AJ and Josh in Nashville. We went over everything, started seeing it more, in live action, what they were doing, being that they were so successful in what they did. Josh shared what he's done so far in the company, and I was like, okay, that's inspiring. So I ended up going to Dallas for my last, solar trip, came back, and then since then, I just never looked back, just went full in.
So back to the law school thing. What do lawyers make? Is there an estimated average that lawyers actually make?
So starting off, it's anywhere from like $40,000 a year if you get lucky with like a good law firm, of course. If you're working for the state, you're looking anywhere from like $50,000 to $60,000 a year. Obviously, if you work for a very good law firm, which is really competitive to do so, they're looking like Ivy League schools, everything like that, you might make more than that. But starting off, you're always looking at making, minimum wage.
For real?
It's insane. Yeah.
So you started going, hey, I'd rather get in sales.
Yeah, sales, since I was 8 years old, I was like, I'm going to be an attorney. I had this like whole thing planned out. It's funny because, people say, tell God your plans and he'll laugh, because I had everything planned out what my life was going to be like. I graduated college when I was 20. I wanted to be done with law school by the time I was 23, and none of that happened. So, but I'm happy.
And what's your motivation to do what you're doing?
So I have a couple of different things. Obviously, family is always a big thing. I lost my mom to cancer while I was in my last year of college.
Oh,
I did.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I had my two younger siblings. My dad was in the Dominican Republic. That's where I was born and where I'm originally from. So, I wanted to make sure that they had the opportunity that I had. I grew up, I went to private school. I wanted them to continue going to school. I wanted them to make sure, that they went to college. And even if they decided to no longer pursue whatever they wanted to do, at least give them that opportunity. So I wanted to make sure that I was their sense of security no matter what happened, because I know that when I was 19 years old, I had to take out, loans to pay for stuff. We had a mortgage, we had all this stuff, and my mom didn't have life insurance, which is crazy. Where I'm from, that's not a thing. So, and it's crazy being in this industry now where it's like I know the importance of it because I was on the other end of someone that didn't have it. So financially, it was to a point where I was working 3 jobs and taking, 21 credits in college. I did 2 majors in 3 years. So I was having all this stuff, and I know what burden that put into our family. So seeing that people can actually prevent that by just simply, paying couple bucks a month. It's just insane.
Do you think that's why you sell so much?
I'm definitely passionate about it. And it's crazy because when you're growing up, you never say, hey, I'm going to be a life insurance agent. I mean, it doesn't sound attractive, but once you actually get into it, and then you take the sales aspect away from it, it's a different thing.
How many dates do you think you get on Tinder if you put life insurance agent in your profile?
A ton.
A lot. No, but it's just when you take the sales aspect out of it, and you're thinking, by doing this, I'm not just selling someone and helping my family. I'm helping someone's kid go to college. I'm helping someone's grandma be buried, and not having to worry about stuff like that. Once you look at it like that, you want to help everybody.
Yeah, so someone told me once, they go, the sell is just the transfer of your belief in the product to the person, and they can feel that. And I've noticed a lot of people that do really well, they have lost somebody close to them. And it's almost like that makes them really believe what we're doing is the right thing. You guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we get people in here and it's a similar story. It's crazy. Well, I'm sure your mom's proud of you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Why did you choose to go from solar, and then how did he talk you into going all in with FFL, and what are the good things that have happened since?
So talk about dripping on people. I mean, it's funny because when I was actually in solar, initially I had Nina and Hayden both drip on me, and I was like, no, absolutely not. Just don't even bother with it. But with AJ, I told him, hey, I'm interested in the idea. That was it for him.
But you were getting out of insurance for good, right?
I was done. I was like, I'm not doing it again. I had all my licenses. You start getting emails that they're expiring, all that. I'm like, great, delete, delete, delete. Like, I don't care. In Florida, or I guess everywhere, you have to do like your continued education. I kept getting emails. I'm like, delete. I don't care. I don't want to do it. But AJ thought it was a great idea to call me every single day, every day. Didn't miss. I'm like, this guy is so persistent. And he's like, no, I just want to check on you. I'm like, okay, what do you want? Like, come on, just tell me what you want. And he's like, no, just, if you want to get started, I'll help you. And it just started like that, just him checking in. And then eventually I was like, okay, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I wake up and I'm not excited to do what I do. And for me, it's important. I'm a huge person, and, believing that your environment is everything. A lot of people don't feed off of their environment. I do. So for me, it's not, okay, stop feeding off of your environment and change overnight. For me, it's just change your environment. So once I started seeing the support, because that's a big thing for me, people supporting you and actually helping you and believing in you, I'm huge on that. So once I started seeing that, I definitely wanted to hear more about the opportunity.
What's it like working with these two?
It's awesome. I mean, sometimes they get on my nerves about stupid like, literally, oh, man. I love you guys, but sometimes, man. I'm definitely blessed to be.
Dude, it's funny. We all actually came from the same health insurance company.
That's
I
crazy,
even worked there
dude.
myself, which is wild because I didn't know either one of these two. I was there way before them. I was there back in 2015. I was, I think, 21 years old. And then I left after about a year and a half. And then you guys joined about two, 3 years ago. Yeah. So we both came from the same place. All three came from the same place. But yeah, so we definitely hit it off.
That's crazy. And when you talk about support, were you lacking that in your other? Because like I'm impressed with what they do, getting with agents, working with them, being in the trenches. It's legit. Does that make a difference though?
It really does. I don't know what it is, but a lot of other companies, especially in sales, when you're a 1099 and there's overrides involved, and people all of a sudden get this power trip, and you work for me, and do this so that I can get my override, and it's like, I did my job by hiring you, figure it out. And
which is so common in life insurance.
Sure.
In every industry in sales, I found, and because I have these conversations, and there was a point in time when I was looking at other opportunities, selling anything, and it's common. It's so common to not have that support. So when you see people that are so selfless, because like when you really think about it, and I think the opportunity of even having something like integrity does for a company is that you're no longer focused on the everyday play, like that one override or that one thing. I mean, you end up looking at the bigger picture. How can I collectively do something, and then we can all get there together? That's a different approach to the business rather than let me see how many people I can hire and just profit off of everyone's effort and I'm not doing anything. I don't respect that. What I do respect is seeing that these guys are here, they're doing what we're doing. If we need help, they're right there to help us. I mean, that'll change the game. People feel more confident in what they're doing.
That's huge.
Huge.
What do you guys think are a common theme of someone that's successful on your guys' teams?
I would say plugging in, tracking activity. We try to do a good job of making sure people have targets. And
Tracking activity.
Yeah.
So what's that look like?
So Josh came up with a great idea because, when you're in home, the goal is to set 30 appointments. Hopefully 20 of them show up, present to them.
Sell 5.
Sell 5, right? So for telesales, we didn't really have targets. So he was like, we should keep up with how many presentations we do per week. So the goal is to do 25 presentations per week. If we do 25 presentations a week, most people will go in home. They may do 20, so we already have 5 ahead of them, and that's not even including the weekends. So the different targets like that.
So 5 a day.
Exactly, 5 a day. That should be the goal. You do 5 a day, you're gonna help a lot of families.
I think a lot of times, early on for us, and a lot of people who transition from in-home to telesales, they just don't have any mission or any targets. I think in-home is so great because we knew that on Monday I need to dial and to book
And I have to book X amount, yeah.
And when they transition to telesales, it's like I just work whenever I work, and there is no target. So for us, it's like, hey, dude, like today we need to knock out 5 presentations. If you want your freedom, have your freedom, but let's do 5 presentations.
So what if you get done at like noon?
If you want to stop. So we don't push anyone to pursue anything they don't want.
Bro, I'd wake up at like 5 a.m.,
Yep.
start calling Michigan,
We have people work in Hawaii, Alaska.
be done
at
at
night.
noon
Yeah.
with your 5 presentations.
And dude, if you do 5 presentations, and we count a presentation as the asking the close question. I don't care if they buy from you or not. I just want to make sure that you present, ask the close question, you're good to go. But if you do 25 of those in a week, dude, you're protecting usually about somewhere between 5 to 12 families. If you're like really, really average.
That's
So-
crazy. Dude, it's crazy what you can do. Like, when I was recruiting direct, I was waking up at 5. I was calling people on the East Coast at 6. Dude, I was just doing so many things that most people weren't doing,
Yeah.
But, dude, telesales opens that door for sales.
Absolutely.
Like, you could dial from 5 a.m. to freaking midnight
Yeah.
if you're calling Hawaii.
We
And
did,
you're on-
we did it
We
last
do
week.
challenges. First class and AJ squad, they were about 2 days ago, or the last production week, right before midnight. They were about 20 families away from their first 100 families week, right? And I said, dude, you guys should do a challenge. And they stayed up and they were calling out to Alaska, Hawaii, and they dropped and they did 102 families that week. So that night they called overtime, and it's a game changer for sure. But yeah.
So what do you guys say to somebody that you said on the last podcast we did, if you're not working, then you're weird because like you're the only one not working if you're around you guys.
Right.
What do you think, or how do you guys handle people that are kind of like, they're constantly trying to go against what works, they're negative. Someone gave me that analogy one time of the crabs in the bucket. You guys have heard that?
Yes.
Like the crabs never get out of the bucket because another one grabs it and pulls it right back down, and they're just climbing on top of each other, and no one gets out. How do you guys handle people that come in and they're almost like a cancer to your team?
I think for us, we set a lot of great expectations up front, and we focus on, we don't recruit just anyone. We focus on quality people that we want to work with, for one. They're on the mission just like we are on the mission. But I also think that naturally, because of what we created with our culture, it's almost impossible to be like one bad apple spoils the rest. It doesn't happen because we have so many people that are on a mission that, and they're all like leaders. Like we develop leaders. So if you get onto our Zoom and you're doing something, 10 people would immediately call you out and be like, dude, no, not here. So we've created that type of environment where it can't, immediately it's just nipped right from the beginning.
Yeah, so the Dream Center, they have a bunch of guys that just get out of jail and people that are hooked on drugs that they let come in and live there. And I was like, dude, how do you like keep everything cool around here? And he said the peer pressure from the people that have been in the program longer keeps everyone else
Exactly.
in line.
That's it.
Yeah.
We don't have to micromanage or talk or demand anything from anyone. It's just that there's so many people doing this that, again, if you don't do that, you're weird.
Definitely a strong foundation. So once you have that and anyone comes and tries to break that down, everyone else will be like, nope, protect the mothership. Not here. Go away.
I think it's uncomfortable to even try to do that. Like, if I know Andrew does not like to gossip, you're not going to be the person I go to gossip
Yeah.
to. So for us, when you get on and you see everybody's doing similar things, we all have a passion about what we do and how we do it. For you to just get on and do something complete opposite of that, you just get off. Like it wouldn't make sense.
Dude, not gossiping in itself will increase somebody's numbers, man. And that's common, bro.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so a lot of people deal with, and you guys can tell me if you agree or not, depression, anxiety, confidence, low self-esteem, mental health. Have you guys ever felt any of that stuff?
I definitely have.
I have too.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you guys do to overcome that? And does this business help you in any way?
I think,
Go ahead.
I was going to say for me, anytime I think back in my life from business, personal life, anything where I feel any sense of anxiety or depression, it was always because I lacked a mission. I lacked a target.
Purpose.
That's it, right? So I wake up every day was very random, sporadic, and there was no reason for me doing something. So it comes down to really goal setting and having a purpose, having a mission, having something that you're chasing and having that why. So for me, that's all it was. That's why I love business. That's why, if it wasn't for like Family First Life or when I'm not working, I just feel like, dude, what's going on? Something's off. It's just weird. I'm one of those people where I don't care how far I get in my life, there needs to be a new dream constantly, and that's always helped me. But the team also helps because obviously when you're starting to impact and change lives of other people, you become addicted to that as well, and that helps too. But
I would say two things for me. One, building a business, you have people that rely on you. And so with that, that's an added pressure, but a good pressure because I can't be in my head. I can't get emotional about business. I can't do these things because I have people that are relying on me. And
Dude,
so
that's
I don't
huge,
even
too.
give myself the time to even be able to get in my head. And two, having mentors, great mentors, to be able to call Josh and talk to him about literally anything and not be afraid of judgment or, him telling me to do the wrong thing or anything like that. Like, it really helps. So you try not to talk down to anybody, right? But you go to your mentor, talk to them about things that you're struggling with and get great advice, and it just keeps pushing you. But to see people that are where you want to be and they go through similar things or they've gone through those things already, it's like, okay, it's fairly normal, fairly common. Just keep pushing and get through it.
Yeah, I've definitely dealt with the same thing and still deal with it. We're all human beings. It's not uncommon to go through things in life. And as you continue to grow, you deal with more people, more challenges and stuff like that. Obviously, you're going to go through things. I mean, I call AJ sometimes and I'm like, hey, I feel off. Let's look at what I've been doing and how can I improve moving forward. I've talked to Josh before about being in my head about stuff. He's like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, you're fine. I'm like, okay. Like, sometimes you just need to hear that. So, I mean, when it comes to that, especially, you'll notice that the people that deal with the similar things or similar, people like for example, myself, I'm a very result-driven person. So I thrive off of results. If I don't see results, whether it's in anything, I mean, working out, in the business, family, whatever it is, if I don't see results, I get depressed. I'm like, what in the world? But, once you put in the activity, you continue doing what you're doing, you're consistent, you start seeing the results, and you're like, hey, I'm on top of the world, I'm doing great. And then when you're not, having people to keep you accountable, that's also huge.
Yeah, how about helping someone get paid? You don't realize how motivating that is for them. Just
yeah.
one paycheck.
Yep.
yeah.
Dude, that could change everything, just one paycheck.
And we've all been there. I mean, I have a screenshot on my phone. At some point in my life, I had negative $27 and 1 cent in my savings account. And all I wanted was one paycheck to make my rent. When I got that one paycheck, that changed my life. So we all know what that's like. I mean, being in your car, like homeless for some time, living with family, I mean, it'll do things to you that you don't even know you were capable of.
Well, I want to bring this up because I think a lot of people deal with stuff. Like you said, everybody's human, but I don't think a lot of people talk about it. So people think no one else deals with the same stuff, but we're all the same, right?
I'm such a crybaby. It's not even funny.
Now, there is something to say about being around positive people and a positive environment. So I've thought about this quite a bit. You graduate school, you go to college, if you go to college or not, and then where do you get your where do you get your community of people that you hang out with now? And I'm like, okay, you got church, which is one. A lot of people don't go to church though. And then you have, what are other options?
Work.
The bar.
Yeah.
Or nightclub, nightlife, or you got work, right? So I've always been super, Family First Life has helped me because it's given me that environment of people that want you to win. You're working towards a common goal. You're helping people, and it's given me that. But then I go back and I go, without it, if I was doing something else, where do I get that? Dude, it's not easy to get find now.
Yep.
So, dude, if I was coming in new, I would love to work with you guys. You guys work together, help each other, get Airbnbs together, and everybody works and supports each other. You want each other to win. You guys it's not drinking and partying. It's, hey, let's help people pay their bills. Except you said that you brought a bottle of wine.
Haven't opened it yet.
Oh, that's
just.
We're gonna have to send her home.
That's at the end.
Last day.
We don't think of me, Andrew.
Yeah, man. But I'm just so impressed with what you guys are doing. It's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
fun.
I think we all have been around the insurance industry and joined someone who told us, they would do X, Y, Z and show us the way and change our lives. And we were all sold a dream at one point, and it just didn't pan out. I know for me, it was very difficult to take $800, drive from Kentucky to Arizona with no money, sleep in my car for 3 weeks, and try to figure it out. That just kicked my
Where'd
butt.
you park?
I would sleep outside of the gym, actually. They had this, I had $29, dude. And
Wait, what year was this?
this was it's been 3 years now. It's been 3 years. When I joined my practice company, I was sold this vision, this dream, and I was already licensed. I went out there, and for the first 30 days of being with my practice company, I saw one presentation. So I had no idea what to do, how to act, I had no idea where to even begin. And then one day I said, I'm going to figure it out on my own. And I slept in my car for 3 weeks. My mom kept calling saying, baby, come home, come home. I'm like, I'm not coming home. I'm going to figure this one out. And I stayed and I slept in my car. I had $29, and what I would do is I would sleep outside of the gym. There was a local gym. They had this promotion. It was 1 cent to get a membership, to sign up. So if it was more than 1 cent, if it was $20 or $10, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
1 cent?
They had a promotion. It was 1 cent to. I'm sorry, 99 cents. It was 99 cents to sign up to get the membership, and then after that it was like $20 a month or whatever. So I said I've got 1 month because I've got $29. So I would sleep outside the gym. I would go into the gym, work out. I would shower at the gym. I would go to Holiday Inn, and I would walk in confidently, like I was staying
And get
there,
breakfast?
And get breakfast every day, and that's how I would eat. And I was no.
What do they got there? Like
It was
Fruit
like
Loops?
Fruit Loops and toast and sausage and like fake eggs. It was weird, but I would eat load up on breakfast every morning, and I was so confident. They thought I just stayed there. I would walk in there and just grub, dude, and that's how I would eat throughout the day and all that kind of stuff. But I needed my car because I had to go drive to in-home presentation. So whatever money I would use, it would be to just eat because I couldn't stay anywhere. I couldn't afford to. But 3 weeks in that car, I learned how to recruit. I sent thousands and thousands of messages out to people. That's how I got good at recruiting, not because someone showed me. So, I just said, it's my fault. I'm not going to blame anybody else. Let's figure it out. And I looked up, and here we are.
That's legit.
But that's why now it's like, dude, I take so much. It's so important to me that if someone joins a business because I influence them to, I best believe I'm gonna make sure they do. I do everything.
Dude,
in
how
my
do you
power to
not?
help them.
It's easy to forget in this business, like where you were a few months ago,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you lose that perspective. How do you guys not forget and like stay appreciative?
I think for me personally, that's another reason why I like the lock-ins, because you go back, like you see yourself in people,
Oh, dude.
and
Yeah.
you'll see somebody struggling on the phones, and it's like, man, that was me. You'll see somebody who now they may have a couple of new agents, and they're trying to figure it out and figure out production as well, and it's like, I was just there. So that keeps me grounded. It keeps me remembering where I started. And that's why I love it, just being around it all the time. But when you're in the trenches, you're going to see that. It's going to remind you, and you have to stay humble and grounded.
Yeah. You live it through your people.
For sure.
That's so true.
So FFL has like ridiculously, it has a very attractive compensation plan and model and all this stuff, right? How much of that do you think, what do you think's more important? Recruiting on that or recruiting on, if I bring you in, I'm going to do everything I can to help you
Dude, I've recruited people
and not told them?
and given them a way lesser comp than what someone else offered them. And I said 145% of zero is zero. 110% of a lot is a lot. Which one do you want? Because I just know that if they work with me, I was going to help them. So it's just kind of been that type of confidence in that approach where I think the best thing is to have proper training. I don't care who you are, like you do need guidance.
For sure.
Even like you can be in the insurance business for a long time and you can come in and plug in. A lot of people will figure it out. There's a lot of people that just figure it out on their own, but it's so much easier when Siri says, turn left, go right. It's just so much easier.
Dude, I was just thinking about it the other day. When I was a kid, my parents had a map out.
Right.
Like when we were going, no, like not MapQuest, like a map.
Actual map. That was before her time. She doesn't know.
My bad.
You got mom holding it up.
Yeah.
Go this way.
That's
Dad's
funny,
mad.
dude. I would be lost. I need a GPS to go to the gas station. Like I would have no idea.
Dude, and I
where
was
to go.
like, dude, people were freaking smart back in the day reading that
Yeah.
map.
Yeah, for sure.
When you see the big tree, just turn left.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're like,
I think though, everybody, like, people are different. Some people need to hear the numbers, especially maybe if they've been experienced in the insurance industry. They need to see the comp. They need to see this. They need to see that. But most people are just looking for
Bro.
somewhere to be, somewhere to like feel like they can be themselves and grow and have some impact. Make
dude,
some
I
money.
think when you're recruiting them, like they can feel where you're going.
1000%.
And I don't think, I think it does matter, but dude, I've recruited people and we never talked about comp.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I say, different.
I
different
didn't know
people.
what my comp was.
I didn't even know what a comp was. At our company, we didn't talk about comp.
They hit it in like a 50-page
What was it?
15%.
Yeah.
That was
Health
for
insurance is like
the next
nothing.
upgrade. When you started, you were at 13, I believe.
Oh, I got started at 15. I think. I don't know.
Dang.
I don't know. We didn't know. I really didn't find out until we started talking about FFL and they were asking about comp. And I remember lying. I was like, "Yeah, I got 36% comp." And I thought that was really good.
What is that?
To try to reverse recruit someone.
Yeah, I'm like, they were like, "Oh, what comp are you at?" 36%. Had no idea. Had no idea. I thought that was great.
You're flexing on everyone.
So then I go back and I talk to my upline. I'm like, "What's my comp?" And this was 3 promotions later, 19%.
Dang.
Dude, Nina told me my comp after HCMS was sent out to me. I didn't know what it was. I never
Dude,
asked.
those are the guys that you got to watch out for. They don't even
They
care.
don't care.
They're like, whatever the top is, I'll get there.
Exactly.
They ain't worried about it. Dude, the ones you got to watch out for, they're negotiating before they've done anything. And it's like, bro,
Yeah.
if you were that good,
Nah.
then like, what are you worried about?
Why are we on the phone?
You'd be at the top contract in like 3 days if you're as good as you say you are.
Yeah. You gotta love those guys.
I don't play that game.
I don't know.
Like, dude, if someone tells me how good they are, I go, dude, then
Show me.
show me. And they go, well, I did, my last company, I did blah, blah, blah. And I go, dude, No one cares how many home runs you hit in Little League.
Right.
It's the big leagues now.
and then they're like, what? And then I'm like, dude, if you're that good, you'll do it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not playing that game.
Yeah. And you came from the grocery store, so
And I came from the grocery store.
definitely don't care.
Yeah.
Where I'm at, I came from the grocery store. I don't care what you're saying.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, Nicole, if someone wants to work with you, how can they get a hold of you?
So my Instagram is at NICOLERIPOLLM, as in Mary. And then that's my Instagram. But yeah, I'm pretty good.
You want to give your phone number out or no?
Oh, no.
Okay.
You can find her on Tinder.
Oh, my God.
Tinder.
I've never used
Bio
any
life
dating
insurance
apps in my
agent.
life. Never used dating apps in my life. Those are scary. Stay safe, ladies. Human trafficking is a real thing, okay? But yeah, that's the best way to reach me. And then from there, if you're serious, I will give you my number. I just don't want to get the text of the people that say they want it. You know, we have a big vision, and this is something that I dealt with at the beginning. It's like, you know, you get a comp, you know, you get this, you get to work with us. And then I just wanted to recruit everybody because I'm like, this opportunity is so great. Like, you're silly if you don't do it. But then at the same time, I can't want it more than you. Like, it just won't work. If you don't want it yourself, you know, it's like, if you want it, we're here. We have the tools, the training, all the resources that you want. But if you don't, then there's going to be like 3 other people that do. So those are the people that I want to work with.
That's cool. Well, thank you guys for coming in. Thanks for everything you guys are doing. Reach out to Nicole if you want to work with their team. And let's go kill it.